The baby was born, lifeless, but then the nurse noticed something, a string behind him. She pulled it gently, and suddenly, the baby let out a loud, desperate cry. That's when he got his name, but his life was always different. As long as someone pulled his string, he lived. If not, he stopped. One day in class, it happened again. His string wasn't pulled in time, and he froze. The other kids didn't hold back. They laughed, mocked him, gave him cruel nicknames, but Jack, he couldn't stand by. He stood up, chased them off, no hesitation, and over time, they became best friends, inseparable. They played together, even stole chickens from the neighbor, and as they grew, they fought like brothers, but always made up, no matter what. Then, the war came. Drafted. As Clockwork Boy left, he looked back at home, one last time. His mother, eyes full of tears, watched him go. She knew war doesn't care. He might never come back, but Jack would be by his side, pulling his string when needed, keeping him alive. But fate had other plans. An enemy shell landed right in front of them. Jack was knocked out cold. Clockwork Boy dragged him to safety, but without anyone to wind him up. He collapsed too. Time passed. Jack woke up, and, like always, reached for the string, but this time, his hand slipped. The string broke, and in a miraculous moment, Clockwork Boy opened his eyes. He spoke, then went still, but Jack refused to give up. He carried him to the camp, rushed him to the medical tent. Please, he begged, please save him, even though he knew, deep down, it might be too late. He stared at the broken string in his hand, took a deep breath, and stepped into the emergency room, preparing for the worst. Then, something impossible happened. Clockwork Boy, alive, breathing, sitting up, and, no string. They hugged, tears streaming down their faces, like kids who had never been apart. In that moment, nothing else mattered.